Welcome to Waterfall Model course. In this course, we are going to understand what is waterfall model or what is traditional model, and you will be able to differentiate between waterfall model and adaptive model when your foundation is strong. So before we start off, if you are not aware of waterfall methodology, please write down in the comment box, don't know waterfall. Yeah. Now let us see what is traditional or waterfall or legacy model. And why do we call this project life cycle as a waterfall life cycle or a waterfall model? Yeah. So you can see this. This is a typical project life cycle model, and all the phases of this life cycle are running in a linear sequential manner, which means initially you are going to gather all the requirements from your customer for a product. You are going to document those requirements, you will be analyzing those requirements, and you will be getting sign off from the customer on those requirements, and you will freeze the requirements. So after completion of this phase, for complete set of requirements, you will move ahead with the next phase, which is design phase, or it may be analysis and design phase, wherein you will come up with a technical architecture, functional architecture for your product. And after completion of design phase for all the requirements of the product, you will move ahead with the next phase, that is development or construction phase, wherein you will be constructing the product. And after your product completion, after your product is completed or it is constructed, you will put it for testing, and your product will be tested by some dedicated team like QA team or SQA team. And once this product is reviewed, tested and verified, you will release that product to the customer, and customer will do user acceptance testing, and depending on the findings that the customer has from your model or from your product, the customer will sign off your product, and you will implement that product in the customer's environment, and customer will start using it. So what you have done in this model is you have worked on complete set of requirements in each of the phases in a linear sequential manner. So like a waterfall, this model works in a linear sequential manner. So this is the reason we called this traditional project life cycle as a waterfall model, and it is also known as legacy model. And there are few more names for this model, like we call it predictive life cycle or plan driven life cycle. Why do we call it predictive life cycle? Because you already know what is your goal, your team is well aware of what product they need to build, and they are very much clear on all the requirements, and your client is well aware of what he needs in the product. So that way you can predict the end product. So that is the reason you call it predictive life cycle. It is also known as plan-driven life cycle. Plan-driven because you will form a comprehensive upfront plan before you actually execute the project, and you will follow that plan throughout your project life cycle. That is the reason this model is also known as plan-driven life cycle. So by now I think it is pretty much clear to you what is waterfall model. Although you might be already aware of this model, but you please go through this course completely, complete all the videos, so that you might get some nuances which you might not be knowing, and you will get to know them. And it is mandatory for you to understand all the details of waterfall model before we move on to agile model.